Hello and welcome to my channel where I give you useful information in a precise manner. As we know, New Year is just here and people are relaxing at home and enjoying the holidays. And in Finland we have snow, snow and snow. The white sheet is spread all over and you can see snow all around us. So normally you are not doing more stuff outside, so you are staying inside. So I thought it would be a nice idea to have a look what happened in the last year in the student visas thing. Like how many students apply for the Finnish visas for studies and how many students get their visas. Because last year we having a lot of complaints about students that the processing is very slow and they are waiting, they cannot start their studies because they do not have their visas or RP. The MIGRI, the Finnish Immigration Service, is not doing the best and stuff like that. So we're having a lot of problems in detail. So in this video we're going to have a look which are the countries who are applying the most when it comes to studies in Finland, and what are the percentage of acceptance, which country get accepted more and which country is not accepted more, and what are the reasons behind it, and most importantly how you can avoid the visa delays, how you can make sure you get your study permit and visa before your study starts, so you do not need to send emails to MIGRI or to your university, and you do not need to defer your study program or delay your study program for the next year. So once you get your admission letter from the university, then you went to MIGRI websites and you start applying for your resident permit. So after filling all the information and the application, you submit the application and then you receive this picture. So this picture tells you that your application has been received and it is waiting for processing. So you are happy, you are jubilant, so you come next day and you check, thinking in your mind that the guy is sitting free and he just working on your application. So nothing has changed in one day. Then you come back after 1 year, the status is the same. Then you come back after 1 month, the status is the same. And then you come back after 2 months, sometime the status is the same, waiting for processing. So you start getting frustrating and you start thinking these guys are doing nothing. They are just like simple bureaucrats sitting in the office, taking salary and doing nothing. They are very slow, they are very lazy, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you are right, but there are other things in it. So while blaming the Finnish people that they are slow, even more slow than what I'm trying to tell you is not going to help you. There are two things which you need to understand. The first thing is there is a limit of expected time of processing. I mean, you should get your decision in some time. So if you send an online application or electronic application, then you should wait at least 1 to 3 months. I mean, your decision would come from 1 to 3 months in that time. Let's say 90 days to be very precise. So for example, if you send an application in January and you provide all the details and then you should wait for 90 days and you will get your decision by April. No, that's not true actually. Here is the problem. People used to think and students used to think when we submit the application, the expected time starts from there on. That is not true at all. The expected time of the decision, and they start counting the days only after you visit the embassy. So when you go to the embassy or go to the Finnish consulate and you provided all the documents, you prove your identity, you give your fingerprints, thumbs and everything, only after they start counting the time. So that is a big mess in there. Okay, let's build an example. Imagine you submit your application in January and you book your date with the embassy in let's say May the 5th. So what do you think? They're gonna give you a decision before May 5th? No, because they don't know. You just send an application. So your time will start once you go to the embassy on the May the 5th. And after that, your first day will be counted in processing. So in June, July, and August, in these 3 months, you will get your decision. So most of the students make that mistake. They fill the application quickly, maybe in January or in February or early in March, but they do not book the time, or if they book the time, then they don't get the appointment. So how to solve this problem, like how to get appointment early and how to go, I will talk about that later in this video. But before that, let's go and have some look on the stats, what happened in the last 12 months, which I talked about earlier. So in this picture, we can clearly see MIGRI gave 6,166 decisions with the positive decision of 85%. So 5,282 decisions were given positive, like visa was issued, and 8,884 applications were rejected, visa was not issued. Remember, these are the stats for last 12 months. I mean, from December 2018 to November 2019. Data is not available for December 2019 yet. So I have taken last 12 months. Moving forward to the next picture, we can see the top 5 countries as per the application. Now, these are the top 5 countries who send most applications. China is leading the way. We receive 1017 applications from China alone. Now, this is the first resident permit for studies. I mean, these students have never applied for RP before in Finland, and this is the first time they're applying. Russia is at number 2 at 992, and followed by Vietnam 456, Bangladesh 424, and India with 307 applications. Now, these are the top countries who sent applications. Now, let's look in the third picture, which is about top 5 countries as per the number of decisions, who received the most decisions, either positive or negative, and their percentage as well. So you can see Russia, they received 978 positive decisions and 23 negative decisions, followed by China, lesser margin, 928 positive, 13 negative, then Vietnam, 425 positive, 15 negative decisions. Bangladesh, surprisingly, they received 141 positive and 254 negative decisions. This is something we need to talk about. This is something I will address in the remaining part of the video. Then we have Republic of Korea, who received 276 positive decisions and 6 negative decisions. So based on the number of decisions, percentage and everything, this is the chart we have. But my intention, as I said earlier, and this is one of the reasons to make this video, is about the South Asian cluster. So let's move to South Asian cluster. When I say South Asia, I mean India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Bhutan. We don't have any applications from there. All right, so let's look at the South Asian cluster one by one. We have India with 219 positive decisions in the last 12 months, with 43 were denied the entry. Then we have Pakistan, 120 positive and 68 negative decisions, followed by Afghanistan, the ratio is 50-50, 6 positive, 6 negative. Then Bangladesh, 141 positive, 254 negative decisions. As I said earlier, then Nepal, a lot of negative decisions, Nepal to 181, and Sri Lanka has higher percentage in the whole of South Asia, which is like 29 positive and only 7 negative decisions. So these are the facts. So now we have an idea what happened in the last year in these countries, and now we can move on with the remaining part of the video. So there are other reasons which can affect your time of processing of your application. For example, if you do not fill the application properly, this might affect your processing time. This might delay it further. Number 2, if they are not certain with the clarification of income and other certificates, then it might take more time. Number 3, they might ask additional information or supplement information from you. Then this can affect your processing time. Number 4, if you ask for any exemption in your application and you want some special thing to consider, this might take longer than usual. But one thing which I want you to understand and clarify, that calling them, sending them messages, not going to help it. You're not going to expedite the time. There is no way you can expedite your processing time. It will take thing. It is a process. That's why I always say start the process early, follow the guidelines and go with the flow. It's going to take time. The only thing you need to do is you need to send an application online early and quickly. Number 2, you need to book your appointment with the embassy as early as possible, as early as you can. And then number 3, you have to go there and prove your identity so that your application time starts and processing application is in the queue and processing time starts quickly. So you get your resident permit or your RP early, and then you can go for your study. So you do not have to wait or postpone your study plans for the next year, and that's the best way to do that. So focus on this thing. Okay, now a lot of people ask me, okay, we talk about problems, we talk about issues, we talk about reasons why the processing is slow. Now, the most important thing is, which you all are here to listen, how we can avoid that. It is very simple. Number 1, you have to be proactive. When I say proactive, I mean proactive from the day one. When you have decided that you are going to Finland for studies, then you get your documents ready, your documents ready, your certificates ready, and when you apply, when you get the admission letter, let's say you send application to 3 universities or maybe to 4 universities, and you get acceptance from 1 or 2 universities. So when you choose or finalize that this is the university I'm going to study, the same day you should book an appointment with Migri. Let's build an example to understand that. Okay, this is January right now. For example, you send your online application by the end of January, and let's say you get decisions in maybe February. Some universities give decisions early, some might delay a little bit. Okay, let's keep it simple. You get decision in the first week of March. So let's say in the first week of March, you are in a position to decide that, okay, this is the university I'm going to study. So the same day you should book your appointment. So that's proactive, I mean. So if you are from Pakistan, you have to go to Abu Dhabi, maybe you can go to Nepal or other places. So one other problem is people say that they don't get the appointment because the queue is very long and there is no time and stuff like that. Then try other embassies. Not everybody should have to go to Abu Dhabi. You can go to Nepal, you can go to Sri Lanka, you can go to Bangladesh even, and you can even go to India too. So try other embassies and find as early time as you can get. Why? Because the processing time starts only after you prove your identity in the embassy. So if you book the time in June or July and you visit there in June or July, then you are not certain. Nobody can give you guarantee that you will get your visa before September. And normally the session started in September. So that is the reason the people and students were yelling last time. I'm not saying that it's always the students' problem. Yes, last year there were a lot of problems on Migri side. And one of the Migri officials we spoke to through our group, and we get the information from them. They say we were not expecting too many applications, and we have seen there were too many applications this year. They also said that July is the month where Finnish people go on vacation. So a lot of people are on vacation, so that's why the process was slow. So this is the the delay on their part. They also say that we are working on it. They might have some embassy or some consulate in future in Pakistan for students. But I mean, the whole South Asian region, you have to be proactive. If you want your decisions early, if you want your RP in your hand, and you don't want to, miss the year, and you want to come and study in the university in the same year, then you have to be proactive. That's the only solution. Number two, which is very important, most of the time people get negative decisions and more questions and more supplement on one document, which is the bank statement. Nowadays, you need to provide the means of support. Previously, you also have to provide, but previously you don't need to pay the fee. Now you have to pay the fee, as well as you have to ensure the authorities that the time you will stay in Finland, you will not be the burden on them. So you can be managing yourself in a better way because you have that much money. So you come up with the bank statement. Now here are many questions people ask, so that is why I have made a separate video on the bank statement. You can see the picture here, find it on the channel and you can read that. So work on the bank statement in a nicer way, use some best practices and avoid any delays, and don't attach such bank statement which have ambiguities in it. So there might be questions. So if they write you once, that means they need more information. That also means that your process is delayed for the next 2 months, next 2 weeks. And then if they ask you information for 2-3 times, that means your process is delayed for, let's say, 1 month or so. So if we are already in August, then there is no way you're going to get your RP in September. So to avoid all the hassle, provide a clear bank statement, follow the guidelines given in the video, and be proactive. This is the only solution you can have it, and you can get your RP in an appropriate time. So guys, I hope you liked the video and I gave you some insights. So if you follow those insights, it might help your process and you might get your decisions on time, and you come to Finland and you can enjoy the same cold weather as we are doing. I mean, don't worry about the weather. Initially, you might feel it, but later on, you get used to it and you start enjoying it, as I'm enjoying right now. So it's time to go out and take a walk. I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.